What's good? What's good? It's your boy DJ Avo, and this is Dynasty Bros Fantasy Football Podcast, episode 97. Let's go! Some new.
Yeah.
Shut them down.
What we got them like? Got them like? What, baby? My dog's gone.
Rock.
Your dog's gone.
Stop.
And then we gone.
Shut them down. Open up shop.
What we got them like?
Whoa.
Got them like?
Whoa.
What, baby?
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, R.I.P. to the great DMX, man.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
All right, hey.
Earl Simmons.
Earl Simmons. What's good? What's good, Brodies and Bays? This is the Dynasty Bros Fantasy Football Podcast, episode 84. This is where you come for all your fantasy football needs and to chop it up about the latest NFL news. I am Dynasty Bro Dot here with my co-bro.
Dynasty Bro Vic, man. What's up? How y'all doing?
Oh, man, I'm good, bro. You see we got the DMX rocking in the background. Avo came over here with the energy we needed today.
He did.
Yeah. Let's go.
And then we rocking, man. So, before we get forward, man, before we move forward, I just want to say it's been a lot going on in the world, man, and losing another great is unfortunate. Like I said, we're always going to be more than a fantasy football podcast, so I want to make sure we give him his flowers. Can I ask y'all a question?
Yes, sir.
Before we dive deep into fantasy football, we do got a mock draft for you guys going into the second round of the rookie draft. But quick question. What side of the fence are you on with this whole conversation about, these people don't get their flowers until they're dead? Because I feel different than a lot of the ways I'm seeing on social media. How do y'all feel? Do you think that comment is true? Because I feel a lot of people have been floating it out there lately.
Like, you feel like people haven't been? I feel like that should be changing because a lot of people actually have been, from what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we've been doing a better job. We're probably still not the best, but we've been doing a much, much better job of letting people know exactly how we feel.
I stand on that side.
Some people need to do a little more research and go find it because a lot of it is out there. People have been showing DMX love for years now.
Yeah, if you listen to it. I don't know. I think it's been more people in their feelings, man, because honestly, I see the love a lot, man. Now that we're a social media, kind of world, and that's all people resort to, social media every damn day. But I see a lot of people giving flowers, man, to the people they love, the people they respect. I see the shit often, and I start to see it in numbers, man. When you're out here, selling millions and millions of records and getting millions and millions of views and followers, that can't be from a bunch of hate. That all counts as flowers, man. Just because you don't wake up every day and the next man be like, "Hey, I fucking love you. Hey, I fucking love you." Next woman, "Hey, I fucking love you." It can't work like that every single day. But I do think people get their flowers, and I think this narrative was being ran with on social media since DMX passed, that people don't get their flowers until they dead. And I feel like I see it different as of late. Like, you can't refuse the hate that you see on social media and the hate you're gonna get. I guess that comes with the celebrity. But I see a lot of love being given.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I think a lot of people was more so speaking about who's been playing his music. You know what I mean? So at least, since his passing. So I think they were looking at it from that standpoint. A lot of turn up, a lot of tributes. Of course, he just had the verses recently.
Yeah.
So that was good to see. That was definitely a moment for him to get his flowers, so to speak. So yeah, man, I'm glad that he at least got to do that. You know what I mean? True
that, man. So, all right, we wanted to make sure we touched there. Like I said, this podcast with the Dynasty Bros Fantasy Football Podcast, but it's way deeper than that. All right, so we do got a fire episode, man. We're going into the 2.0 rookie mock draft, going into the second round. What we did last time was he told his top 12, I told my top 12, instead of just diving into one draft together. So we can both get a chance to speak on who we want to, and you can see the orders from both of the bros. So we're going to get into that mock draft. We might have some flags. We do got the what's the word, and that's always consistent. And with everything going on in America, I'm excited to see what the closing is, man. So to say something good to the people is probably needed right now and from us. So, if anybody ain't got nothing new going on right now, we can jump straight into this what's the word. Y'all cool with that?
Let's go.
I'm with it, man. And shout out to my brother DJ Avo, man. He be transitioning to music as the show transitions. I be peeping the little details, man. So I just want to give you flowers on that, man.
Appreciate that.
Hey, I definitely see you working. So
I want to give him his flowers because he still be fucking up the number. of the episode every week.
Look, bro, it wasn't up there this time.
But at least he here every week, man. He's been on the road, bro. Avo ain't had a missed day in forever, man. So that's me giving him his flowers.
That's true. All right, shout out DJ Avo from the bros.
Appreciate it.
From the bros
to the bro. All right,
can
man.
we tell the people about that?
About what?
About the We the Bros.
Oh yeah. Go
Ah.
Can we give him a little bit? Just a little
Give him a sneak peek then.
This is what it looked like. Look, Vic did that the other day. So I don't know if y'all can see this. We got some We the Bros merch coming out.
Yeah.
We got some B Team merch coming out. And we got so much more merch on the way, man. You should have seen. Can I tell the funny story? I'll just tell the funny side of it. We sent our distributor all of our designs, like, hey, this is what we want for the merch. It's like, whoa, a little bit backed up, everything going on right now. Just send us a couple. Vic hit him up and was like, hey, at least let us lock in 3, you know.
One for me, one for Dot, one for Avo.
Yeah, so he accepted the 3, but I feel like how many logos we sent? About 14, 15?
14. We was ready to unload.
We ready.
Hey, niggas be like merch on the way. We got a clothing line on the way.
We was ready.
So shout out to the We the Bros merch on the way. That's the first 2 We the Bros designs and the B Team merch. I'm not gonna sit here and explain what the shit look like because it's gonna be fire when it drops. So be on the lookout for that and plus much more.
And shout out to Clutch the Artist, man.
Clutch the Artist,
Hey.
man.
So-
Everything we got right now, man. So
what's good?
yeah, that's the homie. I've been knowing Clutch since middle school.
Same. We actually
Everybody
grew up in the same neighborhood.
Come on.
neighborhood.
Winding Ridge we used to hoop on.
Nah, don't
What was
lie,
our
bro.
neighborhood?
Kingston Commons, bro. We had the best hoopers, bro, out of the 2 neighborhoods.
Here we
We
go.
could pull up a reunion, bro.
Here we go.
Do you really want that reunion?
Damn. We'll take that offline.
Yeah. Meet me in the mirror.
Yeah. But yeah, man, we're definitely excited for that. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Coming soon. All right, let's get into What's the Word. We're gonna be in and out as always. Hey, let's start with Stephon Diggs. He signed to Jordan, so that's what's up. Hey, maybe Jordan cleats, Jordan gloves. I don't know if he's gonna have some, his own merch and apparel, but shout out to Diggs, man.
He be having the best customized cleats in the league.
He do.
Big facts. I'm not arguing with nobody, and if you do, at me.
That's a good point. And also on Twitter, you can catch Stephon training with his brother. Like, they be going at it. Like, they both be playing wide receiver, both be playing DBs. It's like a 50-50 matchup every time. Like, it's cool to see. So, yeah, check out those clips. All right, let's keep it pushing, man. So, former NFL running back Eddie George, of course, he played for the Tennessee Titans, one of the great running backs out of Ohio State. He's going to become the head coach at Tennessee State.
I seen that on the way. Honestly, I literally just seen it a couple hours ago on ESPN. I said, damn. And I low-key forgot about it. I meant to tell you we should talk about that, but you brought it up. Shout out to these older athletes that
Former
were great.
players.
Older athletes. My bad. Former players that are greats. I threw that in there, though. I wasn't going to miss out. These greats that are transitioning into these head coaching jobs, whether they've had it or not. They know how to play the game. They have influence, and we need to see that, man. So we need to keep on seeing these former greats transition into some black schools, man.
Yeah, man, that's
It's
dope.
important.
Because you got Deion Sanders at Jackson State. Now you got Eddie George at Tennessee State. I do want to shout out Yahoo. That's where I got this information. But, yeah, man, hey, let's turn up for the HBCUs, man. And, of course, they got that All-Star Bowl that's going to be going down in New Orleans every year.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all coming together, man. All the dots starting to connect.
And don't forget the dots.
Don't forget the dots. All right, another thing. Shout out to Toto Pro Sports. Trevor Lawrence, he actually got married over this weekend. So, hey, he got the one-on-one in his life, and he's about to be the one-on-one in the NFL draft and the one-on-one in the Dynasty draft. I tried.
He found love while he knew it was real, you know. But did she know it was real? It's real.
I'll shut up.
They probably go back, like way back.
They better.
I mean, she knew he was a 5-star recruit about 5 years ago.
That's all I'm saying. But before that, they better go before that.
Yeah. Shout out to
Better
Trevor.
not have met her last year.
Nah, I'm sure they've been. I didn't do that much research on that, but
Hey, man.
Is there any photos of his wedding or anything? Did he look happier than Pat? Because Pat looked happy.
Pat Mahomes.
Yeah. Okay, I see it. You want to show the good people the
All right, that's cool.
show the good. He did it.
Hope you guys can see this.
That's a fire. That would be a
Hey,
fire
man,
meme.
it's cool.
Big like this. That's a fire meme.
And I'm looking up.
Hey, bro, look.
Hey, one day we're gonna have somebody that chops that right there.
Yeah,
It's gonna be right over me. It's gonna be boom. It's gonna be there then away.
Yeah. Hey, let's get into some NFL news. So of course, Julian Edelman, he's retiring. They called it a failed physical. I don't know if that was intentional, but he's retired, man. So do you guys think he's gonna pull a Gronk?
I don't know, but the first news I seen was the Patriots terminated his contract, and I said, "Damn, they looking out so he can go play for Brady." And then I seen the failed physical, and then I seen the retirement, and I'm like, "Damn." And then I called Vic. No, I think we was playing Call of Duty when it happened. I said, "Damn, bro, you think he about to just go take the Antonio Brown spot?" And that was it. I ain't thought about it ever since.
Yeah. I know his knee's been messed up as of lately, past few seasons. So
how do you feel the physical? I'm just curious. I don't know,
bro. You give me $100, I can show you how to go fill an NFL physical.
You gonna show up with it in your system?
Nah,
is that automatically what it means?
That's
what I'm trying to figure out.
I'm gonna show up and try to pass, and I'll bet you $100 I fail. You feel me?
You probably gotta squat down, walk like a duck,
I know.
100 yards, knees is done.
Touch your nose.
Yeah,
touch your nose. I don't know, man. But shout out to Julian. He was relevant, super relevant in PPR leagues when he was healthy.
Yeah,
super relevant.
And he got rings, bro. Like it's nothing else. I mean, he has nothing else to prove, in my opinion. So,
and not one of those people who got rings for not doing that. He showed up in big games. He did a lot for big time.
He did
so
big catches, big plays, and all the Super Bowls.
And he got a big beard.
Yeah, he do. He beer gang, and he be calling people out when they be on that bullshit. When they be racist and all that other shit.
Call you out the right way too. Hey, pull up. I'm gonna take you to go get dinner at the crib and then show you what you did wrong.
Pull up. Have a bison burger. We're gonna sit down and talk about it and a beer.
Get it medium rare.
Shout out to Jules, man. Cool. Hey, let's keep it pushing, man. And of course, James Conner, former Pittsburgh Steelers running back, he signed a 1-year deal with the Arizona Cardinals. So what does that mean to you, man, in Dynasty?
In Dynasty, it don't mean nothing. It was 1 year. It just means all that Chase Edmonds talk is they don't trust it because you ain't got James Conner. I'm not saying he's no super stud, and at least they didn't pay no big draft capital yet, but I don't even know if this means they won't go get somebody in the draft at this point because James Conner can't stay healthy and Chase Edmonds still isn't proved that he can be an every down back. So don't be surprised, if you see them going to the draft and grab somebody still. I wouldn't be surprised. We got a comment up there, man. You want to tell me who was by?
Yeah, let me check it out. And if you guys see me looking up, because we got the shit on the big screen, so I got to look up. They said, what up, nephew? Miss Jamie Banks.
It's the Banks household. Gang.
Yeah, man. So, it's just a way to get a cheap running back. Of course, they still got Eno Benjamin. We didn't get to see him at all last year. Maybe he'll get some run. You think James Conner will stay healthy?
Damn, you put me. That's a fucked up question. You put me on the spot on. All right, does he ever stay healthy?
Has he been healthy? All right.
Did he end the season healthy?
To be determined. Okay, then. So a shout out to Eno Benjamin. Future looks bright in Arizona.
This nigga said, shout out Eno. Damn.
Nah, I'm just kidding. They're going to most likely draft a running back. So I'm learning to not fall into the hype of all the pre-draft offseason news. Like, those are traps, to be honest with you. So hopefully you moved your Chase Edmonds for some second-round picks while you could.
I know. I just seen Chase Edmonds go off. I'm in a super flex draft right now. I just seen Chase Edmonds go off the board. And James Conner's still there. You think he got to go get that insurance next round? Go get the Conner
4-game insurance. I'm just asking.
Shout out Eno.
Shout out to Eno. All right. Shout out to James Conner. Wish you the best going forward. All right. Y'all got any flags? What's up, Avo?
No, I ain't got no flag. I just want to say yep.
You said yep as you was like he's asking the question.
Oh, my bad. I was going with the song.
Hey, Soulja Boy said he got the #1 song on TikTok.
He probably do. He stayed #1. Like, he finds a way to stay #1 in something.
Relevant, bro. Relevant.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. DJ Avo.
What's good?
Tell the good people where they can find you at, my brother.
You can follow me at DJ AVOLXVE on the gram. That's at DJ AVOLXVE, DJ Avo Love. And then on the Twitter, you can follow me at Dynasty Bro Avo. And I'm going to try to get on there more.
All right.
Hey, Bo, throw the assist to somebody. Man, dude,
Hey,
it's
Vic,
been about 4 weeks.
Where can we follow you at?
Okay.
Excuse me. You can follow me at ChiefsOSFF, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Also, be sure to subscribe to the podcast, Dynasty Bros FF, wherever you listen, and join the Facebook community, Dynasty Bros FF podcast. Leave us ratings, reviews, all that good stuff. Yeah, we like all the feedback. Yep. All right, my bad. Die.
Oh my
Where can
God.
I follow you at?
This assist shit ain't gonna work. I'll go back to taking lead. If somebody else just take lead the whole way through. Clearly, we got a bunch of gunners on this podcast. Can't nobody throw the assist. Follow me at Dynasty Bro. Follow me as Dynasty Bro Dot on Instagram and Twitter, and follow the main Instagram page, Dynasty Bros FF. Hey, before we get into the second half of the rookie mock, Vic, what's that hat you got on, my brother? Show the love, man.
Shout out to the FF Fit Club, Fantasy Football Fit Club. So yeah, join the movement. Let's call it a movement. So yeah, if you're starting on your fitness journey or you're a vet, no matter where you at, even if you don't know what to do, or even if you're in the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week, don't matter. But it's all about just striving to be better. So it's just a space where we all just encourage each other, stay on top of your workouts, stay on top of your meditations, your stretching, your good dieting, all that good stuff. It's a place to be held accountable. So I got my merch. So yeah, I've been in the gym, 7 a.m. workouts. So that's been working out for me.
Yeah, I've been getting fit. I've been sliding the gym and I've been doing all that shit. I ain't know where to sign up. Can I sign up?
Man, you just go to the gym and then drop the hashtag.
Bet.
Yeah.
Do I gotta get in front of that big mirror?
Nah, hell no. I don't do that. Some people do. I don't. That ain't my gym. You know what I mean? That ain't in my gym bag. You know what I'm saying? Some people like the mirror selfie in the bathroom. Some people like the mirror selfie in front of all the weights. That's blocking people like me from getting some shit.
I feel like you feel some type of way about that.
Shout out to the people taking pictures in front of the gym mirror that don't even be in gym clothes, whether they got in their apartment complex or some shit. You see all the weights in the background. They got a whole dress on and shit. Shout out to that lady. I know a few. That shit's funny.
Join the movement. Oh, and all the I believe all the proceeds to the merch is donated to a good cause. I don't have the actual organization offhand. I apologize for that, but I'll pull it up next week for sure.
Just bringing awareness is good, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so look, what we're going to do is we're going to jump straight into the rookie mock draft 2.0. This is the second half, the second round of the rookie draft that we did a few weeks ago. So, look, I always say this, man, we stay water, and you don't have to just remain the same because things change, pro days happen. You start to hear NFL coach talk, and just in general, man, you watch more film and you become more intrigued with players. So, look, we did a first round. We can go talk about it. We can talk if you have movement in your first round, how you starting to feel in your heart about these guys about to come out before we reach the real NFL draft in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So that's what we're going to do, man. Vic asked me if I still have my first round guys, and I told him I do. So we can jump straight into that, list off those guys, and we can talk the changes if we had any, and then we can roll straight into the second round. Is that cool?
That's cool. Excuse me. And I don't remember, if I had too many changes, but I just want to call out a 1 through 12. That way you guys know where I'm at as of today.
Okay.
Also with the mock draft, this is, from my standpoint, if there was a startup, here's where I would take these guys. So, of course, I have different team needs across various leagues. So if you hear me say, I had this guy at the 103, why didn't I take him? I mean, I don't need a running back. I don't need a wide receiver. So, again, this is just purely off of a true startup. Here's where I would take these guys off of talent. And then in round 2, I'll be honest, I am a little like landing spot dependent on some of these, only because I do feel some of these guys do need a great OC or good football mind. But for the most part, here's where I'm at the end of the day. So, yeah, we'll just rock with that. So I'm going to lead off 1 through 12, just a quick rundown, and then I get to my first guy, and then we'll talk through dots. 201. So at the 101, Trevor Lawrence, 102, Najee, 103, Devonta Smith, 104, Jamar Chase, 105, Kyle Pitts, 106, Justin Fields, 107, Trey Lance, 108, Travis Etienne, 109, Javonte Williams, 110, Rashad Bateman, 111, Jalen Waddle, 112, Mr. Mac Jones. I'm going to let you run yours down.
All right, 101, Trevor, 1-2 Fields, 1-3 Najee, 1-4 Jamar Chase, 1-5 Travis Etienne, 1-6 Devonta Smith, 1-7 Javonte Williams, 1-8 Pitts. I got them top 3 running backs, and those 2 receivers, because those are the studs. I know Pitts is like the end-all be-all when it comes to upcoming tight ends now, but I had to put Pitts after those 5 guys to me because positional value without being in the tight end premium league. I get having the next Travis Kelce. Well, man, it's so important to try to get those running backs and those stud receivers too, man, because they can thin out at the top. And then after Javonte, I got Pitts. I think that's my 108, 9, 10. Yeah. And my 19 is Trey Lance. My 110 is Zach Wilson. He's actually he's my 4th receiver. He's my 4th quarterback just due to, the NFL importance of where they're putting him, man. They're pretty much sure he's going to be drafted 2nd pick by the Jets. But technically, he's probably my 5th quarterback just come off of who I trust talent-wise. Then my 111 is Rashad Bateman, and my 112 is Jalen Waddle.
All right, couple things. I have Pitts at the 5 because I feel like running backs come out every year, receivers come out every year, may not be as deep. So I'm comfortable with taking a pitch at the 105. And then notice I didn't have a Zach Wilson at all in my round 1.
And I don't blame you, bro.
I'm out on Zach. So, hey.
It's so much to be out on, like him, the organization, the weapons that they're in love with. Like he's going to be throwing to XYZ. No, we know he's throwing it to. And it's not the best of wide receivers, bro. Corey Davis. I don't care what you like about Keelan Cole. He's not no superstar stud. Denzel Mims. Jamison Crowder. I don't know who he's throwing it to out the backfield as of now. Tevin Coleman. I mean, dude, what are we in love with? Chris Herndon. So I don't care what kind of quarterback you have. If he's not good enough, and rookie quarterbacks rarely produce and make fantasy relevant receivers. He don't even have fantasy relevant receivers right now, even if they were with good quarterbacks.
Woo. Buffalo Bills gonna terrorize his ass. Bill Belichick gonna terrorize his ass.
Bill Belichick
the Dolphins building
up rookie QB.
That AFC East about to be ugly. But even besides that, I mean, look, I'm okay with not investing draft capital. So I just got to see it. I got to see the proof in the pudding. I'm not willing to invest draft capital on Zach Wilson. That's just me. So here's the shocker. He's not in my round 2 at all. I'm just completely out in terms of draft capital, rookie draft capital. All right, bro.
Damn.
I mean, I'm just going to sit that one on the sideline.
I ain't mad at that, bro.
Hey, and not to say a year or 2 from now, hey, if he's hot shit, yeah, of course I'm going to get in. I'll pivot. But I'm just not willing to invest rookie draft capital. All right. I'll trade for him later if it works out. All right, bro. You want to go first?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right.
Go so I hate that I didn't get to get this guy in my shit, and I told you he's my number 4 QB technically. But when it comes to these rookie mock drafts, I'm not going to just flex. Like I said, I will take Wilson before this guy just off draft capital. But I do enjoy Mr. Mac Jones. He's my 201. That's why we preach, man, make sure you get some of these early 2nd round picks in these 12-team leagues and Superflex, because it's going to be some hot names in this 2nd round that we're going to name. And I'm actually going through it right now, and I'm grabbing all of them that I can in this startup. But look, Mac Jones, I right now, the hype on him is crazy. You got, them saying that, hey, just the Justin Fields thing is not going to happen at 3. It could be Mac Jones. You got, the talks in the background now that if it is Justin Fields at 3, that the Patriots are going to move up where the Cowboys are and try to sneak Mac. I mean, I don't know. All I know is he turned into damn near a top 15 pick in the NFL draft, and in Superflex, that is important. And you can't replace the starting QB outside of getting those elite top tier players at running back and receiver. So give me some Mac Jones in the 2nd round, man. And if you think about it, bro, not making this an equivalent guy, because I don't think he has this same talent as Justin Herbert. But remember where Justin Herbert was going in these rookie drafts last year. Now he's potentially being argued as a top 5 quarterback in Superflex. Sometimes top 3. It just depends on who you ask. I'm not going to get mad if you say he's right behind Pat. That's fine. But just taking the risk on a guy, and if he ends up in San Fran in that system with a good quarterbacks coach, oh, man. So give me Mac Jones over anybody else before we start any kind of movement with the rest of these skill players, because I just trust the capital, and I do think he's a good quarterback.
I like the call, man. I had him at the 112. Of course, he comes from a great program. a lot of weapons around him, so he was set up for success. I do think it'll translate over, at least to the league. I do question his deep ball, but all in all, hey, if he goes to a system where they're run heavy or even a balanced attack, he can make the play action throws. So, yeah, I like the call with Mac Jones.
Hey, bro, click on that comment real quick. Make sure it ain't a question from a fan or something, man. I don't want to miss out on it.
Happy pre-birthday, son. It's Mom Dukes.
Shout out to my mom. My birthday's tomorrow, and she's shouting me out live on Facebook comments on my podcast. So, love you, mama. She sent the kissy face emoji, bro.
Call you right after this.
I'll holler at you around 9:30
Eastern.
All right. You want me to go my 12? You want to go your 12? How was we doing?
No,
back and forth.
Yeah, we're gonna go back and forth.
All right. We're gonna get into my 202. That's
Damn, can I do my 201?
Oh,
Mac Jones was my 112.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot. You jumped on the train and then I lost it. My bad, bro.
See, Mom Dukes
threw me off, man. We ain't clicking on no more comments, man.
All right. So look, at the 201, hey, this might be a shocker for a lot of people, but wide receiver Terrace Marshall, man, out of LSU. So check this out. This is a guy that's been balling. Like last year when they had Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Thad Moss, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Burrow. Hey, he had 13 touchdowns. So he still was out there making plays amongst all those playmakers. This year, he had 10 TDs, a lot of games with double-digit touchdowns. So he has a knack for the end zone. He's a pro-style wide receiver, so he's 6'3", 200 pounds. His build reminds me of like T. Higgins as far as like that tall, lanky, skinny. Yeah. But he can run pretty much every route on the route tree. So to me, again, I favor the pro-style type of wide receivers. Mm-hmm. So give me the Devontas, give me the Jamar Chases, give me the Rashad Batemans. Like, give me the pro-style wide receiver. So Terrace Marshall at the 201, I am taking that all day long. I'm not waiting. Hey.
I like it. I feel like, do you want me to talk now? And then when I get to him, I can just skip it?
No, you can go to your 202 and then
when I get to Terrace, just speak. Yeah. All right.
That's cool.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
All right. So my bad for jumping the gun, but here goes my 202. We're gonna stay in the wide receiver bag. I'm gonna get to Mr. Rondale Moore. I know everybody was nervous about the 5'7" thing, but look, pure athlete. You see his strength. The freak accident he had to his leg could have been even worse. But the reason why it didn't get that bad is because the pure strength that he has in his lower body, man. Just in general, he's fast. He can run all the routes. He's going to be locked into a slot receiver / specialist. Like, so whoever drafts him has to know that you're going to have to use him to benefit his style of play, because he's not the biggest guy. He's not going to just go to the outside and win like a 6'3" guy like Terrace you just talked about. But I think he has the knack to just be a great football player. And sometimes you just got to let that ride. So he'll go out there day one. He'll be involved in kick return, punt return. I think he's great at that. I just want the guy because he looks like he just wants to play football and he's very, very good at it. So you got to go out there and just figure it out with a person like that. Give me him. Hey, we just seen a great non-athletic, tough guy retire in the NFL and play multiple years in the NFL and made multiple plays. And come on now, just the toughness and that 5'7", he's one of the toughest people I've ever seen play in college, and he came out and did it as soon as he started his freshman year. So I think he can go and make plays. Like I said, I want all of them in PPR. Give me that. He's going to be a dominant playmaker to me.
Fire, bro. All right, my 202, Mr. Michael Carter, running back out of North Carolina. So if you have the 102, most likely you're grabbing a running back or QB. Or Jamar Chase. People are trying to get Chase. But so if you need a running back, hey, Michael Carter for me. Again, we saw what he did this year for the Tar Heels. He's 5'10", 200 pounds. Hey, he runs. He's not afraid to run in between the tackles. Gets upfield. He's decisive, so he's quick with his decision-making. He can catch. I like what I saw. So I think he'd be a nice complementary piece to a backfield like the Bengals, who just got rid of Giovanni Bernard. Jacksonville Jaguars could use a RB, in that backfield. So, yeah, those are some potential landing spots that I would like to see him go to. Can you think of any other spots that need a running back?
You said Jacksonville. You said Cincy, right?
Yeah.
Well, I would say Buccaneers. I always talk about that, but that's where Gio just went. That's always a good spot. But man, I mean, I don't know. It's just,
Even
all I know is
Washington.
whoever takes them, they're going to have to use them. They kept McKissick though,
Okay.
man. And I mean, how about going to go get a guy to help Saquon?
I like
So
that.
he doesn't have to worry about catching 6-7 passes and shouldering 20 rushes. Let him get a third down back every once in a while. How about a team like Green Bay? I don't think A.J. Dillon is the greatest pass catching back. He can catch, but he's not as good as Jamal Williams. That's why they love him next to Aaron Jones. I'm about to go get a guy that can catch better than A.J. Dillon, even though Aaron Jones is great. And let Aaron Jones just worry about running the ball, because I still think Aaron Jones is a better runner than A.J. Dillon. They need to let him focus on being the main back and have a guy spell him. And I think the best way to spell Aaron Jones is, a guy that can come in and work that third down every once in a while.
Yeah, man. And I can see him being leveraged like a Naeem Hines, a guy who runs between the tackles, also catch passes out of the backfield. So
shit, Atlanta right now, they working with Mike Davis. And yes, he can catch, but dude, get somebody that's actually trained to be like a natural third down back.
Yeah.
So something like that, bro.
Cool. All right, bro. Who's your 203?
So while we're speaking about pass down catching backs, let's talk about Mr. Kenneth Gainwell at the 203. And really, man, he's been the guy slowly moving up my board more and more. And I can wake up tomorrow and he could be my 202 over Rondell. So look, just give me the best pass catching running back in the draft. Period. Point blank. Line him up on the outside. He can run routes and just look like a regular receiver. And he came in bigger in his pro day than he played at, about 10 more pounds, which means, maybe he's training to be able to shoulder a workload as a runner too, because he can run the ball. But, we seen him at 190, like, damn, maybe he is just a third down back, transition back with another guy. But I think he's working on trying to be able to shoulder a load. And whoever take him, man, I think they're going to have a great running back, whoever takes a chance on him, man, because I do think he can do it all. I just think this year out is, pushed him down on some draft boards, but I really love Kenneth Gainwell, man, and I'm excited to see where he goes. I'm excited to see his draft capital, and I will be having a lot of Kenneth Gainwell, and I just took him in a startup right now over a lot of guys that I probably shouldn't have. So give me Kenneth Gainwell, because the way the game is played right now, you could use him. Easy. He can go to all those places that you talked about that need pass catchers and more.
Yeah. Eagles, especially if they go the tight end route, you just never know. Like you say, he's a wide receiver out of the backfield. I got Kenneth Gainwell at the 203 as well. Dap my dog up. We in line. So, yeah, man, everything you said, man. 2019, over 50 catches, receptions, which is crazy. So,
yeah, stud.
Yeah, man. So, we don't have to spend too much time there. Who you got at the 204?
204, I got Mr. Elijah Moore. Look, I know we love Rondell Moore because he's so explosive. He's going to be a killer athlete just on the field. But let's talk about Elijah Moore, man, because he's a little bit bigger than Rondell. And he's so explosive, too, on the field. Man, he went out there and ran a 4.3 for his pro day. And as much as, I just talked about Rondell, I don't need to hype up what I think of Elijah Moore, because I want to just echo everything I said about Rondell. And I think Elijah Moore has a chance to go out there and make defenses look crazy from day one, man, with his footwork and his speed, his athleticism, and he has great hands. He's a hard worker, man, and I'm excited to see where he goes too. And like I said, I could wake up these last couple picks I did. I could wake up tomorrow and he could replace Rondell on my list. It's just I don't know, man. Just watching these guys that kind of have the same potential, because a lot of them aren't outside. Big receivers. Like, we don't have a lot of those in this draft. So, you got to kind of just fall in love with these guys that have the potential to be great slots or great number 2 receivers in the NFL. But the way the NFL is going, man, everybody's throwing the ball. So you need a complement to a dominant receiver. Why not get a guy like Elijah Moore? He's going to be making defenses look stupid.
All right. At the 204, you just made a comment saying, I could wake up tomorrow and have Kenneth Gainwell in front of Rondell Moore. That's exactly what I got right now. So at the 204, Rondell Moore, he is a guy that's sliding a little bit. Of course, in my 1.0 mock draft, I had him at the end of the first. But just putting some more thought to it. Really, again, I love the talent, love the skill set. It comes down to, will he land with an organization and an offense coordinator that knows how to leverage him?
Yeah.
Will they have him in the slot? Will they try to, put him in the backfield? Would he be like a third down back? I don't know. Like, he can be a nice slot player. He can get some carries. Again, it all just comes down to what system he goes to and how is he going to be leveraged? How does he fit into that system? So that's why I have him sliding for me at the 204, just off talent alone. Love the talent, love the skill set. I don't want to miss out on a Rondale, but I don't want to take him at the end of the first. I do have him in the early second. I'm not mad if you take him at the end of the first, but I'd rather jump on all these prototypical style wide receivers first before I look at a Rondale.
True that. If Avo's about to spin the song I think he's about to spin, I just want to stop and give him his flowers one more time. All right. Hey, you got some horns or something, Avo? Anything?
Couldn't find my horns.
Oh, you ain't got your drops.
I gotta get the horns.
That's me making horns. Shout out to DJ Avo one more time in the middle of the draft. I will take a break to give him his flowers one more time because he's spinning. And I've been paying attention to you, bro. And if Vic already gave you the flowers at the front end, I'm gonna give you right now in the middle of the draft.
Right on.
You made me break into a random dance while Vic was talking, bro. So shout out to whatever you doing back there, bro.
Bro.
All right, we're gonna keep it moving to the 205. I got Mr. Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver out of USC. Look, I'll say it like this. The more and more I keep watching this film, he just looks like a guy that can stay in the league forever and never lose it, because what he does is not focused on his athleticism. It's not focused on super speed. He's just talented. He's just goes out there with his footwork. If you watch him, man, he can. I argue that he's the best route runner in his draft when it just comes to the receivers. I'll say it like that,
out of the
man.
slot or just in general?
Just in general, man. Just go like I'm not here to debate. I understand Devonta is a dog when it comes to looking so smooth out there. But St. Brown is a beast, man. If you look at him, bro, I don't know. He's a technician, bro, and I love him. And I feel like what he brings to the table can go out there and he could just be a stable number 2 receiver for years. And that matters a lot in Dynasty, man. Like, I know we kept throwing out the Robert Woods, equivalent, but imagine what Robert Woods do for, and it feels like Robert Woods been relevant for some years now, right?
Yeah.
He's only 28. Robert Woods still got years going forward, bro. Just doing what he wants to, man. And I think St. Brown go to the right situation. Even if he don't go to the right situation, I just feel like what he does, he'll fit right in no matter where he goes. Outside, inside, I don't really care. I think he can do it all. Not saying I don't think he's no number 1 receiver, so I'll tell you that straight up. I do think he's a solid number 2 for years to come. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown.
That's why you my dog, bro. I got him at the 205 as well.
Yeah.
Robert Woods 2.0. He's basically a quicker Robert Woods, and you can do a lot with him. He plays in the slot primarily. You can get him on the sweeps, around the edge. And like you say, he's a route technician. More specifically, he wins at the top of the route. Like, he gets DBs turned around at the top. So if you're winning at the top of your route, meaning that's when you're starting to break, whether you're breaking in, breaking out, stuttering, he really creates separation at the top. So he knows how to get open. And then when he has the ball in his hands, he's navigating through the field. Like, he's not worried about the guys that's at his current level. He's already looking downfield to see how he can win at the next level. So, and he's physical, man. 6'1", solid 195. So his dad's what was his dad, like a bodybuilder, Mr. Universe, former. So he comes from that, like that's the background. So yeah. And his brother plays for the Packers. How you say his name? Equanimous? I can't say it.
Equanimous St. Brown.
Yeah, man.
All right, turn up.
All right. Go ahead, 206. Then we'll flip.
All right, 206, man. I'm going to talk about a guy you already talked about. I'll make it quick. I do like Terrace Marshall Jr., man. I know this is probably further back in what a lot of people are having him. I like him. He is 6'3", 200, but when you look at him sometimes, he doesn't look like the strongest 6'3", 200 you can see. So I do think he needs to work on his strength in general, even though he does look like a stud in the end zone. But what else can you look like at that height? He's quick, so you do like that. And I do think the speed, you can tell he's fast on film. So I don't know. I like him. I'm not saying that he's a bad receiver. It just speaks to the volume of what I think this receiver depth is in this class, because I love Terrace Marshall, and he is your prototypical receiver. So I do think it will translate into the league. Just some of these other guys, man, I think they have a chance to just be stupid at what they do. So I love Terrace Marshall. And even at that size as a prototypical receiver, I still do think he's a compliment to a number 1 in the NFL, but a good compliment. So I do like him. Terrace Marshall, It's gonna be a dog too.
Bro, I had him at the 201, man, and his bill reminds me, like I said, of T. Higgins.
Yeah.
Man, like I said, he's been balling, bro. Double-digit touchdowns this year and last year. So if you can put up 10 TDs in the LSU offense that was crowded last year with JJ and Chase, that speaks volume. So he screwed it up for me. All right, 206, Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of Florida, 6 foot, 193. Hey, he's a guy, man. He has some nice route running. He's quick. He's on the quicker end too. He had 10 TDs this year. So he's a guy that burst onto the scene more so this year. Of course, he was at the Senior Bowl. I know there were some concerns with some of the drops, but it comes with the territory. But all in all, I definitely think he has enough wide receiver tools in his toolbox that you can work with, that you can continue to fine tune. So he's a guy that I'm targeting middle of the draft, and right now he's projected to go to a team like the Washington football team. So I can see that, man. He could easily be a nice compliment to Terry. And who did they just bring in? Curtis Samuel, right?
Curtis Samuel. Yeah. That's the only thing that throws me off is I think what he's going to do on the field complements a lot of what Samuel does on the field. But ain't nothing wrong with bringing in weapons, man, especially for a guy like Fitz that you're going to start at your quarterback. So bring in all the crazy weapons that you can for him.
Man, I would also like to see him go to like a New Orleans Saints, be paired up with a Michael Thomas, especially since Emmanuel Sanders just left. So
yeah, and that's not the worst compliment either. Is a guy like Emmanuel Sanders, a quick guy that can do it at different levels. I guess that's things I was going to talk about when it comes to Kadarius on my end. He can win at all levels of the field with his speed. So that's what you need with a guy like Michael Thomas. Just let him go be your possession receiver. And let the fast, speedy guy float around and just win in one-on-ones out of nowhere. So I really like what you just said, because I do like Traquan, and but I don't think the speed that Kadarius has, Traquan he's kind of turning into like more of a big possession receiver too.
Yeah, so they need another number 2.
They do.
All right, so let's flip. I'm gonna lead off now. So at the 207, I got Elijah Moore. So again, wide receiver slot. And at least from what I saw, he reminds me at least of his playing style like Jameson Crowder. Of course, not as explosive. I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but he just does damage in the slot. So he's a guy that I see just getting peppered with targets and be a little PPR monster that has top end speed. So
yeah. And
again, he's on the smaller end, so he's 5'9", 184, but he's explosive, man. So a guy like that, he's a nice complementary piece on the offense, especially if you got some big bodies. Why not get a guy, that can do some damage in the slot? Also, you can leverage him in the screen game and, hey, get defenses thinking, even if you leverage him on the fake screens, because I don't think he's going to do too much damage for you based on his size, at least in the slot. Like, you don't want him putting hands on a linebacker or on a nickel back, so you definitely got to get creative with him, but he could definitely, fill a need for you guys over the middle of the field and in the slot.
Okay, I like that. I'm going to talk about Mr. Michael Carter. We already talked about him, so I'm not going to stay on him real long. But like we said, man, a good third down back. I think he will run the ball situationally, but more of just a third down back to me. Man, how do you think about saying that he kind of reminds me of Deion Lewis, the good Deion Lewis, though? If you remember Deion Lewis when the Patriots let him loose and he was taking off, that play went and got him a contract.
Yeah. I
like him. I think he's a good third down back out the backfield. He can run the ball if you need him to, but I just taking a guy like that, I think it's good. It translates, the NFL is going into these committee backs and everybody can't be the 3-down back. So you either got to be real good at being a third down back and be, good situationally, or being a big bruiser and being able to dominate in those first and second downs, like when needed in the goal line. So I think he found his situational space that he needs to be good in, and he's great in it. So I do like some Michael Carter, but I always try to shoot for the sky when it comes to a guy that could be potentially, a 3-down back. But I do think he's good at his craft.
Yeah, and the reason why I have Michael Carter at the 202 is because these wide receivers run deep and
they do.
The well on the running backs run thin. So that's just a matter of, hey, just getting a running back if your team needs a running back. So I do feel you got to get them early. Since these wide receivers do run pretty long, get your guy if you need a running back.
True.
All right, but I like the call, I like the comps. All right, at the 208, I got Brevin Jordan, tight end out of Miami. The tight end position is transforming Like, they're basically wide receivers on steroids. Look at Kyle Pitts coming in. Look at what Darren Waller's doing. Look at what George Kittle does. Kelsey, he's a big body, tight end, but he catches well. So all in all, the tight end position is continuing to evolve in the NFL. You want a guy that can run routes, that can catch. You know what I mean? So, hey, Brevin Jordan for me at the 208. He was nice at Miami, man. He did a lot of damage. He's on the more athletic end. He's not afraid to block. So on film, you see him blocking some DNs, so he's not afraid to get dirty. So I definitely like that. He didn't have the best pro day, but that's okay. I mean, how many tests have you taken in your day that you failed, but you still passed the grade, right?
Yeah.
So I don't put too much weight on pro days. I mean, it's all about taking the test. I done failed plenty of tests in my life, and I moved, and I never flunked. So it is what it is. I just look at pro day as a test. Like, how well do you test? And that was your one time to test. Like, did I take the SAT or ACT twice? I don't remember. Actually, I did take the ACT twice. So there you have it.
I took the SAT twice, so I got you, bro.
So there you have it. And Justin Fields doing a second pro day. So there you have it.
So there you have it.
Yeah. All right, bro. That's all I got at the 208.
I got a random fact I want to say, and I don't know if it fits in the closing. So can I just say it right now?
Yeah, that's
I'm
cool.
so sorry. It literally has nothing to do with football, and I apologize.
Bro.
Before y'all got here, I made a grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and it was fire. I'm not even lying. It was like grilled peanut butter and jelly 2.0, and it was awesome. And I encourage you two guys and anybody listening to try it, because that warmness of the peanut butter and jelly was life. Sorry, it has nothing to do with anything. My next guy is Mr. Tylan Wallace, man. And look, in this day and age in NFL, when you get to your second receiver, you need to get a guy that can have that home run potential. Y'all remember when we had the Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins combination, and Hopkins was just being peppered 150 targets every year, even with the worst quarterbacks. And then you had little old Will Fuller on the outside, averaging 8 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns, just doing it off limited receptions. Man, Tylan Wallace has that kind of potential, man, to be home run duddy every single time, bro. Like I said, he's one of those guys. He's not a slot receiver to me, and he's not a number one receiver. But, man, in Dynasty, these solid number 2 receivers that have the upside to last. I'm looking at his skill set, everything that he does. He doesn't rely on just all speed. I think he has great route running when he does get vertical. He does have real good footwork. He can catch. He has real good, strong hands. We talked about that when we went through our receivers, man. And I really like Tylan Wallace, man. Like I said, he's not going to be a number 1 in NFL to me, but he's going to be a hell of a compliment. Whoever takes him, they're going to love him. He looks like a guy that works. He hits the film, and he just wants the fucking ball. He's going to go out there and work harder than the cornerback to go get the damn ball. So I like guys like that. So give me Mr. Tylan Wallace, man. That was my next guy.
All right, at the 209, I got Pat Freiermuth, tight end out of Penn State.
You said it right, my guy.
Right. All right, this is a guy, he came in balling as a freshman. So when you put up 8 touchdowns in the Big Ten as a freshman at the tight end position, that's a big deal. Then he followed it up with 7 in his sophomore campaign. And, of course, they played a shorter schedule this year. But we already know he does damage in the receiving game. He's a guy that you've seen line up out wide, like a Zach Ertz, lined up in the slot, lined up, in trios, and they're throwing the screen to him because he's a playmaker. So I definitely love his receiving skills. He's not the best blocker from what I saw. He definitely did take some leaps in the pass blocking and run blocking game. But he's more so of a receiving tight end, if you ask me. And I would compare him to Mark Andrews. That's just what I see, 6'5", 258. So if you like Mark Andrews, I think that's his potential.
All right, I see where we differ in some of our lists, and we'll talk about it. That's what's funny. All right, my next guy is going to be Mr. Jamar Jefferson. Look, we keep talking about the importance of these skill positions, man, and running backs did dry up. But like I said, in the way the NFL is going, you need to have guys that fit perfect in a committee if that's what you're going to run with. And this is one of those guys that has that bruiser style, that bruiser running back style. And I like him, man. His footwork is good and his contact balance is great. That's why I really like him in the NFL. That matters, man. If you're going to be able to create contact and be able to accept it and stay on your feet and keep on crushing these yards as you go, I really like Mr. Jamar. And like I said, I think when the NFL watch him, they're going to fall in love with his play style because there's always going to be teams that love to see a back that just looks like he can play that old-fashioned style of football. And that's what he does to me, man. You know, and in Dynasty, I like to rack in these running backs that I know are going to get some kind of draft capital because somebody's going to put their potential in, you know, trusting him on a team. So I like Mr. Jamar Jefferson. I like him. I like his style and what he's going to do for a team.
All right. Let's get into the 210, Mr. Chuba Hubbard out of Oklahoma State. So this is a guy, he actually took a step back this year, if you ask me, production-wise. But let's go back to his sophomore year, man. Monster season, 2,000 yards, 21 touchdowns. I mean, crazy. Like, this was a guy, again, I was literally moving players like young vets for draft capital just because I felt the rookie draft class would be deep around the running back position. But given the dip in production this year, I don't mind targeting him towards the end of the second round. Hopefully he lands with a great organization and he gets an opportunity. And again, I do think a lot of the step back was due to, I don't think he was happy this year at Oklahoma State coming off the whole Mike Gundy forced apology situation. So
yeah. Give me some dap on that because my 210 is Mr. Chuba too. And I echo everything you said, man. And if you asked me last year, you know, hey, he is high 3-down back because he does have the potential to catch the ball. They threw it to him. He can catch passes. He came in his pro day not as fast as I thought because for 2 years, all I've been hearing is Olympic speed. I've been trying to watch it. He looks fast. He can break away. And I'm not saying his speed and the numbers don't say that he doesn't have breakaway speed because you can see it on the film, but it's just that whole offense, the whole system, everything around him just crumbled, man. So I feel like an NFL team is going to give him a chance, but, you know, it sounds like, you know, if we are going to blame that situation and just being out of it, it sounds like a mental thing. And sometimes if you can't snap out of that mental, it wears and tears on everything that you're trying to do in your day-to-day at your job. So I can't wait to see what kind of draft capital he gets and what team trusts him and see if it translates because you can tell he's a good running back. But whatever happened this year threw everything off, and we'll see if that can, you know, if he could turn it around. Hopefully it don't weigh him down anymore, but I guess we won't know until he gets to the league. But I do think he's good, and this is where I have him too. Some team is going to take a shot on him because you don't just trip and fall in 2,000 yards out of nowhere. So I do like Chuba Hubbard.
20 plus TDs. So
hell yeah, bro.
All right, 211, wide receiver Dynasty Brown, 6'1", 185, junior out of North Carolina. He's a vertical threat. I mean, that's his game. So he wins on a vertical route. He stacks the DB, wins on a post route. He's not afraid to go over the middle. I love everything I saw playing in that Tar Heel offense. Some areas of opportunities again. Does lack some physicality. So in goal line, red zone situations, you know, that's where the DB has a chance to get up on him and press. He does struggle a little bit with that. I also would like to see him get a little bit more effort in the run game. So again, if you're a wide receiver in the NFL, you got to block. You can't take any plays off. So seems like if it wasn't a pass play, you could tell if you look at Dynasty because he wasn't really blocking. So, but other than that, man, given, you know, the talent from what I saw with the back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, that speaks volume. So I think he'd be a nice piece to any offense. I see him fulfilling like a Brashard Perriman type role. You know, a guy that can stretch the field. So
yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about my 211, a guy you already talked about, Kadarius Toney. And I kind of already spoke on him, man. He's a quick slot. He's a little taller than the other guys that we keep on locking into the slot that are in this draft. Like when you think about, I talked about Elijah and Rondell, you know, him being a little taller. I do think that's where he sits perfect. That's where he suits best, is running slot. But he's fast. He'll win at all levels. He'll be a great compliment, you already said, to the Saints. You know, something like what we've seen Emmanuel Sanders doing, running at all levels of the field, being a speed guy, you know, aside from Michael Thomas. So I do think in a system like that, man, I think he'll be great shit, even in Green Bay. Aside of Devontae Adams, they need a number 2. Just somebody that can be a distraction at all levels of the field while you got this guy over here being double teamed and shit. So I do like a Kadarius Toney, man. So that's my 211.
All right, my 212, wide receiver Tylan Wallace. He's a possession guy. He's a guy I would actually like to see go to Tennessee Titans. I know they just brought in Josh Reynolds. Josh lines up inside, outside. I got A.J. Brown, who's a monster. He can line up anywhere. So why not get a possession guy that's going to hold on to the ball for you in Tylan Wallace? So, hey, again, he doesn't have the most burst, but he does run pretty decent routes. I definitely want to see him, work on getting more separation. But at the end of the day, if you're not that fast, it's easy for the DBs to just be right there. So, but I do think he's a guy that's going to basically move the sticks for you. He reminded me again, like I said, Keenan Allen. Not saying he runs polished routes like Keenan, but he's just a guy that he's going to just run routes and catch the ball at the spot, and he's going to get down, down and catch the ball. So
strong hands get you the ball no matter what, even when you're being, guarded good. That's why Keenan's so great. Even though he's a great technician when it comes to being a route runner, when he is, heavily guarded, his hands are so great that he's always going to reel that motherfucker in. I think Tylan Wallace has those kind of hands.
Yeah, man.
And then my last pick is Mr. Dyami Brown. I know you already talked about him. He's going to be a good vertical threat, the same way you said Brashad Perriman. I kind of like that. And we talked about the Will Fullers of the world, just like the same thing I kind of talked about with anybody that I feels like is going to be a hell of a compliment to a number one receiver. That's my best way I could put it when I said he's a great vertical threat, can run good routes, and he's going to be a great compliment to a number one receiver. And that's not knocking anybody, because in this day and age, in fantasy, in the right offense, you can have your dominant number one receiver and still have your number two receiver be hella fantasy relevant. So that's not a knock on he's in our first two rounds. So it's not a knock on anybody by saying great compliment to a number one receiver.
All right, let's run down our 1 through 12 for the second round. That way they can just see the recap. And again, I didn't have any Zach Wilson. I figured he'd be gone in the first round. If he does fall to the second round in any of these drafts, I won't have any parts. So I didn't see no point in putting him in my second round. I just figured he'd be gone in the first round. All right, so 201, Terrace Marshall for me. 202, Michael Carter. 203, Kenneth Gainwell. 204, Rondale Moore. 205, Amon-Ra St. Brown. 206, Kadarius Toney. 207, wide receiver Elijah Moore. I actually want to start over. I want to call out the positions.
Bro, you got the floor, bro. Flag on the play.
Flag on the play to me. So 201, wide receiver Terrace Marshall. 202, running back Michael Carter. 203, running back Kenneth Gainwell. 204, wide receiver Rondale Moore. 205, Amon-Ra St. Brown. It just gives a little bit more context. 206, wide receiver Kadarius Toney. 207, Elijah Moore. That my guy. All right. I'm doing a lot right now. 208, tight end Brevin Jordan. So if you miss out on the Kyle pitch, there's your chance to bounce back. 209, tight end Pat Freiermuth. Hope I don't say that name anymore after today.
Freiermuth.
I can't do it.
Freiermuth.
All right. 210, running back Chuba Hubbard. 211, wide receiver Dyami Brown. 212, wide receiver Tylan Wallace.
All right. My 201, Mac Jones. My 202, hold on, bro. I want to do the positions. Hold on. So can I start over?
Yeah, bro.
All right, bet. 201, quarterback man. Mac Jones. 202, wide receiver Rondale Moore. 203, running back Kenneth Gainwell. 204, wide receiver Elijah Moore. 205, wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown. 206, wide receiver Terrace Marshall Jr. Terrace. Don't say Terrence. Terrace. 207, running back Mr. Michael Carter Jr. 208, wide receiver Tylan Wallace. 209, running back Jamar Jefferson. 210, running back Chuba Hubbard. 211, wide receiver Kadarius Toney. And the last pick of the rookie draft is Mr. Dyami Brown, wide receiver UNC. I love him. UNC.
Fire, bro. I got a question for you. In these dynasty leagues with these rookie drafts, how many rounds do you prefer to draft? I see some rounds go 2, or some leagues go 2 rounds, some go 5. What's the sweet spot for you, man?
3. I usually like at least 3, and I feel like you should start at 3. I feel like 2 is setting everything short because your shots start in the 3rd round. Like I didn't even get to name any of the tight ends. So I feel like you need to go 3 rounds. That's where the back end of the 3rd where your shots start. But I understand in these deep leagues, you're going 4 rounds. What you don't want to do is sell yourself short and do 2 rounds. And now people are picking up guys like Pat Freiermuth off of waivers. So I think you need to try to go as deep as possible. And 3 seems like the minimum to me. That's my opinion.
I I like 2 rounds, but you definitely convinced me on the 3. So I'm gonna put a poll out there for the Dynasty Bros League. I think we got some 2 round.
Yeah, like
Most of our 2 rounds.
like
But
imagine your team being stacked, right?
yeah,
And we go 2 rounds, and then you get to pick up Kadarius Toney, you know, Brevin Jordan, all these guys because they went in the 3rd round.
yeah.
You know, that's kind of
No, that's a good point. I'm definitely about to poll it. That way we can
like a stripper.
at least get some feedback.
Like a
But
stripper.
mind you, one of our leagues is 14 teams, so that kind of cuts into some of that, but it's still room for a 3rd round. So yeah.
Poll it like.
But
a
me
stripper.
personally, I'm cool with a 2 round rookie draft. I just don't like sitting in drafts all day. Hey, I want to get back to managing my roster. But to your point, you do leave a lot of value out there, so I get it. That makes sense.
If you worried about ever sitting in a draft too long after you do your first startup draft, always force quick drafts. I wouldn't lock the rest of the seasons into being slow drafts if people are going to take forever. Or start them early. Start them right after the draft and start figuring it out. And usually if you're in dedicated leagues, they don't really take that long.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the draft.
Yep.
Wait, give me one guy that would be your 301 right now. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Pat Freiermuth. He is my number 2 tight end just because I think he will be able to get on the field ASAP. No matter what you think about these other guys, Brevin Jordan, Hunter Long, those are going to be good fantasy receivers too because I think they're great receivers. But just Pat Freiermuth is the do-it-all. You know, he's going to be out there on the receiving end, on the blocking end. I just think ASAP right away, he's going to be the guy that translates to the field as a tight end, as a normal tight end first. You know, we love Kyle Pitts and what he can do on the receiving end, but he still has work to do on his blocking. He hasn't got better. But and that's something you can keep on teaching and keep working on. But right away, day one, Pat Freiermuth is a better tight end blocker than Pitts is. So I think he'll start getting acclimated. And somebody's going to take him and start using him ASAP.
Man, I'm between 2 guys. They're both running backs. Trey Sermon and Ramondre Stevenson out of Oklahoma. So,
man, Trey Sermon.
I know, man. It's just
some NFL team's going to like him. He's going to end up getting some kind of weird-ass draft capital. It's going to make me so uncomfortable.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But, yeah, man, I'm really thinking about this 3rd round. So, yeah.
All right, look, let's transition into the closing. We're going to do the say something good to the people so we can start wrapping up. Before we do that, one more time, Vic, tell the people where they can find you at.
You can follow me at Chief Sosa FF, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and be sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Dynasty Bros FF. Leave us ratings, reviews, feedback. Look out for the merch. We're excited. DJ Avo, where can they follow you at?
Yes. You can follow me at DJ Avo Love on the gram. That's at DJ AVO LXVE on the gram. And on Twitter, you can follow me at Dynasty Bro Avo. Hey, yo, Dot, what can we follow you at?
It feels so good when we transition like this. It's like easy. I knocked it out the park. Follow me at Dynasty Bro Dot on Instagram and Twitter, and follow the main Instagram handle at Dynasty Bros FF. All right, let's get into this closing, man. Man, who want to start? Anybody got anything they want to just bring to the table? Or no?
No.
All right, I guess I'll go. One more time. I know I've been preaching this a lot. But just, man, it's so much stuff I want to go so many different places. I'm just going to touch on a few things.
Go for it, bro.
That's cool.
I want to start here. I'll say this. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Take care of your body mentally. Take care of everything physically. Stay up on doctor's appointments. My birthday is right around the corner, and I'm in the best mental state of my life. And I feel good physically, but I don't feel good physically. But everything is aligning because I'm starting to pay attention to myself so much more. And it's just making my day-to-day so much better. And I know I appreciate myself a whole lot more. And I'm pretty sure my friends can appreciate the new and improved Alec a whole lot more. So just keep working on yourself. I know I'm working on me. Certain topics, there's the whole
go for it.
There's cases going on right now I don't want to speak about. There's new deaths that don't surprise me anymore going on. I just want to say,
New deaths
yeah,
at the hands of police officers.
yes,
Talking about okay,
yes, and check on your black friends. And I know that sounds very blunt and it's very honest. Check on your black friends because you never know what affects us on a day-to-day, what we see, what we hear, what we read. You know, that shit kicks our ass on a day-to-day, and starting to become numb to a lot of the things that go on in America. It's like I said, I'm not even surprised. And I feel like they're just writing the same story in different ways. It's the same exact episode. They just try to find a different way to format it. So
same game, different players.
Yeah, bro. Like I said, check on your black friends, ask them how they're doing.
Check on your black military friends.
That too. Oh my gosh, that video too. Just oh man, I it's hard. It's so many things to touch on. I just try to make it broad because I feel like we would be here all day if we dove into all of them. And maybe that's a conversation that we should have too. I think we should, man. And I feel like we have the platform to do that. And I hope y'all down for it. Avo, I know we did it last year. And it don't have to be on a Tuesday, but I feel like we should just sit down as young black men and just check on each other on here. We took that shit outside off the podcast last time. I really think we should bring it here. So
I got you.
That's my opinion on it. Check on your black friends. And America, we need to do better. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Who want to go next?
Well, mine was on some find your purpose, tap into your purpose.
You should have went first.
Nah, that's cool. I mean, all that was needed. But yeah, going back to the purpose, I feel like we're all here for a purpose. We're not all here just to go to work 9 to 5 or whatever shift you work and that's it. So I would say find your purpose. Tap into your purpose, man, whether it's, helping people, whether it's performing, whether it's creating, like whether it's being an entrepreneur, whether it's, leading or managing, like whatever it is, whatever you feel that is, start with your hobby, start with your interests, whatever you feel good doing, like whatever makes you feel great. Like you just do it all day, meaning like you're missing all your meals, you're losing track of time just because you enjoy doing that. Maybe that's a start. Maybe that's the path to your purpose. So, yeah.
I fuck with that. Hey, well,
man, I've been sitting back here trying to think of something good to say.
Ain't a lot of good to say sometimes, bro. That's why sometimes you got to say the real, and it just, it is what it is.
Stay prayed up, move accordingly in these streets. That's really all I can say. It's been a rough week for sure. Another rough one. I just stay prayed up and try to keep moving accordingly, man. It's really tough out here. And the rough part is being young black men that aren't doing anything wrong. That's really the rough part. And being worried and concerned about those things. That's rough out here.
Can I say one more thing? Ask a question.
Yeah.
Because I've been like tapped into all these damn stories all at one going on, and my question is: have you ever played with a taser?
No, I haven't. No.
Avo?
No.
Have you ever seen a taser?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever seen one that shoots like a pistol?
I think I've seen cops use them. And it doesn't look like a gun.
No, I mean, to me, I would say you should be able to distinguish between a taser and a gun, especially weight wise, right?
If this is your taser, you shot. It got a trigger. Like
they do.
I really don't know.
I need to see that.
But either way, the weight, the side, usually.
Yeah.
What I do know is once you've been doing something for so many years, you do things consistently. So your things are consistently in the same place. That's what I do.
I think they said she had 26 years on the force.
All I'm saying is she's been wearing her uniform more than likely the exact same way for 26 years. That's all I'll say.
I don't know, man. And I guess some of those questions that I have, I didn't dive into and want to figure out because right now I'm just dumbfounded.
Right.
And like I said, man, it's a conversation for another podcast.
I do want to leave a question out there. Police are here to protect and serve. I mean, I would like to see that extended to protect and serving people, protect people from themselves sometimes. And again, I don't know what the situation is, but just in general, there are times where people need to be saved from themselves. I'm not saying that's what went down in that situation, but I'm just thinking about the time where someone was sleeping in their car, whether they were intoxicated or not. But
how do you not respect the man that pulled over? I don't care if he was in the drive-through and sleep.
Yeah.
How do you not respect the man that stops his car and just say, fuck it, I'm fucked up. I just need to sleep instead of drive and risk my life and everybody else on the road life.
Exactly. That's where I think I would like to see police officers take it a step further and protect people from themselves, meaning I took the initial step, see that through for me instead of seeing me as a threat.
Well, I haven't. My mom did 20 years in the service, and I haven't yet to ask her how she feel about that video about that lieutenant man being sprayed down, being yelled at to take his seatbelt off after you done blinded this man with all the damn mace you could, bruh. He got his hand out. Why can't you just trying to be an authority figure? Go take that man's seatbelt off and do what you need to at that point.
I wouldn't have reached for nothing.
He got his hand out. He don't want to reach for nothing because you see what the fuck happens if you do anything. You want him to do something. You have an excuse. You already got guns pointed. I don't know, man. I said
on top of watching a trial go on, we see somebody get murdered and choked out, but we need a trial. All right, man.
And fuck that man today that said that everything that was brought on George when that was happening was justified. Like that kind of resistance that the cop held was justified. I'm not saying the cop's name. You don't get that on our podcast.
No, fuck him.
That's crazy. That shit's crazy. That's all I got to say.
Yep.
Happy birthday to me.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to me.
All right. With that being said, it's been another Dynasty Bros Fantasy Football podcast. Hey, I love my bros. I love talking Dynasty and fantasy with y'all. And I love talking real world shit. So appreciate y'all, man.
I'm changing the energy for my bro birthday. I know it's fucked up out here, but we still gonna get it right. We'll catch you here next Tuesday, then the Tuesday after that, then the Tuesday after that.